Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 50 of Daisy Knits. Let me tell you what, it's going to be a week. I have quite a bit to show and to share with you, but first of all, I want to say thank you to several people that lovingly came over and commented after my little heartbreak last week. So you people were just so sweet, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for filling my cup up, and I bless beyond measure. So I want to take a moment and say thank you. Now, I got a lot to share with y'all today, and I hope that you got a few minutes as we kind of plow through this. So, first off, I was showing y'all the purlist last week, and I told you I had 6 rows or 10 rows or something before it was done. It's done. I even washed and blocked it this week. Okay, my ends aren't woven in, but I washed and blocked it. It's finished. I did have a bit of yarn left, which is not up here. I didn't bring that. Sorry. It opens up beautifully. I am thrilled with how this came out. It's a nice, big, it's just a touch bigger than my wingspan. So it'll be a beautiful, lovely drapey shawl. It had a beautiful hand after it came out of the wash. The pattern is Purlist by Romy Hill. The yarn is one of my skeins of Cyborg Craft Room in the Northern Lights colorway Acrylic base. So I will say this week I kind of had a little whole Cyborg Craft Room thing going on, because after I finished that, I was kind of pawing through my stash a little bit, and I found another skein of it. This is it. This is my last skein. Although I have a little bit left over of that, and I have quite a bit left over of this. So I decided I wanted some mitts, because last Friday was mitten day. Oh, this is the yarn. I probably should show you that, huh? This is the Bested base in the Enchanted Forest colorway. So this is what it looked like caked up, and I made some fingerless mitts. I made a pair. This did not have a pattern. I tried several times to make it into a pattern, and while the yarn is gorgeous and variegated, it didn't lend itself well to any pattern that I was working. So I gave up, and I just did a pair of plain fingerless mitts. I have quite a bit of ribbing down here, so that way it hugs my wrist and doesn't creep. I like my thumb longer, so it keeps my joint warm. My thumb joints don't like to be cold. And I like to have it where it keeps my fingers warm when I'm driving. But I rib, if you look, I rib a good chunk of this, so that way I can fold it back and I can still type on the computer. I know it's a silly thing, but I love to be able to have my fingers. And I love gloves because they do keep each finger warm and you can still move, but I don't like knitting them. Let's just be honest, they're a pain in the butt. And I love mittens because I think they keep my fingers warmer, but with mittens, I can't do as much. Like, I can't poke on my phone. I can't change the buttons on my radio. I couldn't buckle the kids up when they were little. So I want my fingers, and fingerless mitts are kind of the way I go. So that's what I did. Like I said, it was an easy peasy, just off the cuff pattern. So there's that. That's my finished objects for the week. I had 2. And I have a hoe. You ready? I have a hoe. I have a sock too. Because I couldn't help myself. It's October and I had this overwhelming desire to do another sock. So I went and pulled out some beautiful self-striping yarn. This is from the Penguin Soup. She's a Canadian dyer, beautiful self-striping. And this is Wild Style from the Lego Movie. I love it. It makes me so happy. I used Susan B. Anderson's The Smooth Operator heel, and I love this decrease line for her sock. I do. I don't really care for the numbers that she has, but I love the decrease line. So, sock 1 is done. Sock 2 will be cast on here in a bit. I did not get that far yet, but I plan on doing that while this is uploading and all that fun stuff. Sock 2, right there. Well, sock 2 is actually right here. Sock 1, sock 2, right here. Can you believe that? I forgot how brain candy and how potato chippy self-striping can be. It was lovely. And when I was pawing through my stash for things, I found some yarn. And I thought, okay, I'm doing a bit of selfish knitting because those socks are definitely for me. The mitts were for me. The purless is for me. I should probably do something for the kids. They both have been begging for sweaters. My son has a very distinct idea of sweaters, so I've kind of been putting that off. And my daughter loves just pretty much any sweater. So getting them to fit her in her age and size is more of the issue. She's like a beanpole, just tall and like this big around. So while there's not a lot of stitches around, you got to make up for the length. So anyways, little man found this one, and this is what he wanted. So I had originally thought maybe a sweater for my little girl, but she didn't. She was fine with Sharon. So little man's getting this sweater, and he is super, super excited. We will sit down and discuss what he wants. All I've gotten out of him is it needs to be buttoned up, and he wants it to be smooth, no garter. I might be brave and see about doing a zipper. I've never done that before, but I don't know yet. We'll see. We might just do a button band. We'll see. Girlfriend wanted she found this pink cake and she wants a pullover. So her and I sat down and we kind of pawed through some patterns, and she found this beautiful sweater that I loved as the sweater. It had ribbing down the shoulders and all the way down the sleeves, and she's like, nope, I don't want that. Really, all she wants is the cable detail that's right here. That's it. She wants this cable detail and nothing else. So I think that's what we're going to do. I have a little bit started of the pattern, and I was kind of playing around with the way the pattern's written, and I'm not really feeling their pattern instructions. Like if all I'm doing is that cable, I might just pull that cable out and put that into a generic raglan sleeve sweater for her. So, but obviously you're going to see some sweater knitting over the next couple of weeks. In 2 weeks from yesterday, I am going to Knit in the Mitten. And that's just a great retreat to sit and visit and chat and do nothing at except knit. So my goal is over the next 2 weeks to get the pattern established, to get past the sleeves, and to just knit at the retreat. I need to measure their bodies and their arms, and that way I'll have an idea of how long to make things. But I want to be able to just sit and knit. That's the goal. So that's my future knitting as well as current knitting. I have a lot there. But I also did Master Knitter. I'm so proud of myself. I did Master Knitter. So Saturday, when everybody had the hashtag not Rhinebeck, I was not Rhinebecking myself, obviously. I pulled out my Master Knitter work and I did a 2x2 button band. So that's what's here. It obviously has not had the ends woven in or been blocked, but it's done. The sun came out, so now my color and my lighting's all crazy. But that's what I have to show and to share today. Next week, we'll see how far on sweaters we get. If you have questions, come on, hop over on the group or contact me any number of ways. They're all at the end of the show. I hope that you have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. See ya!